Hello, welcome to Skill Check for Positive Gaming podcast from YMCA Exeter. My name is Andy, and this week we're going to be taking a little bit of time to look at the game streaming platform Twitch. As part of this, I've been able to sit down with a couple of people who stream on Twitch and have affiliate status. I want to know what attracted them to streaming in the first place, what equipment they use, what tips they have for others, and is this good for them? Before that though, let's talk about what Twitch is and why is it worthwhile talking about.
So, my name is Damian and I've been streaming for about 4 to 5 years. And I initially started streaming as a way of sharing my feedback and my thoughts on games that I enjoyed playing. Twitch has been around for quite a long time. I think it's about 16 years. So Twitch originally started in 2007, known as Justin TV.
Okay.
The gaming side of Justin TV was quite popular that it got spread out into its own separate kind of, let's say, sidekick, but side show called Twitch.
Like a spin-off.
Spin-off. But that was known as Twitch.tv.
Okay.
And then a few years later, Justin.tv got bought out by Amazon, to which Amazon then decided to keep the Twitch.tv part and then merged Justin.tv in with Twitch. And now Twitch does not just gaming, it does you just chatting, it does your music streams. If you can stream it to the internet, Twitch will quite happily host.
Now, let me introduce you to our second streamer.
Hi, I'm Rob. I got started with Twitch, I want to say just after the year of COVID, really. The year, it kind of stood still, everybody took their time. So I want to say I started there. Not anything serious, I made the account, just made myself, give whiff a waffle. I'd made it all and didn't really think it'd get into the little stage that I'm at now, but yeah, I want to say it's a couple of years. I used to watch Twitch a lot of anyway through finding out things with different games, or someone's doing a playthrough of a game that I'm playing but differently, so it saves me playing through it again. I started dabbling a little more after a friend of mine that I used to live with in North Devon before I even lived here. He's amassed nearly 1.3 thousand, and he has his own F1 series, and he's got quite a nice community, and it's quite a nice channel that he's got, which is something that admittedly I kind of saw, and I was like, I'd like a little bit of that pie in that respect, even if I'm not really in it for any revenue perspective, because if you do something you enjoy, again, it's not something that it's not really work, and it's not really, you don't want to get paid for something that you love to do. Well, ideally you would.
It's ideal.
Do you see what I mean? You'd like, money. But yeah, I'm one for, if I'm doing something with passion, it's something that I'd love to do, and then just to have anything back. I've had a few people in chat, and just even having them my wife will interact with them, and then come in, she's like, you got to chat. Oh, woo! And then I'll chat back, and then, albeit only 2 or 3 people, but those 2 or 3 people are normally so humble and are so community based that it does give you an incentive to want to change.
So you're gaming and you got the chat, that's part of the Twitch stream, where people kind of can log on and talk with each other, talk with you can talk back, and your wife's there.
She sits as a moderator in chat. You find a lot of streamers will have maybe a friend. I don't know if maybe your wife would be your moderator in the sense of it's an easy job. She just has to sit there, watch and comment back to people. It's not a hard.
I mean, she's very lovely, so
There we go. You see, you get a good report, and then I think people kind of not just want to kind of follow you; they want to follow you kind of your life a little bit. I've followed a few people, and I find I'm looking at pictures of their cat. Why am I looking at your cat? But I've become such friends with this person over, be them chatting or playing a game that I play, that you kind of have this common ground already. I've had a few people say that they want to come and meet me. I'm like, I have worries about meeting strangers over the internet. I was warned about it as a child, so I might one day. Who knows? But it's one of them at this kind of stage. I think it's nice to get to. It's an easy stage to get to, but it's just the work. It's a lot of, you gotta try not to look at numbers. Is one of something that I'm quick to say it, but I always do it. Like the numbers come up, like they're terrible, and you beat yourself up. But Rome wasn't built in a day, you know. So a lot of this is really a learning curve.
So I'd heard from Rob about how it was still all a learning curve for him. So I wanted to find out from Damian, who had been streaming for a bit longer, what things were like when he first started.
So when I first started streaming, it was very basic. Didn't have a cam, didn't even have microphone. It was literally me streaming, me playing a game, and that was it. Back in the early days, which makes me sound even older than it is, I used a bit of software called NVIDIA Shadowplay,
Right.
and that has built-in software to broadcast to Twitch. It is great to get you started and to get you into the whole streaming situation.
One thing I was keen to explore was how safe is Twitch to log into? Back to Rob.
So a lot of people think that the internet's still not the best place where you get your trolls, you get lots of kind of just you get people who say things to others who you wouldn't say to other people in the
You get a
street.
lot of toxicity.
Yeah,
in the
that's
respect of there's that anonymous kind of hide behind something. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
You
you get to hide behind a screen.
Safe behind whatever, but yeah, with Twitch there's a bit of I've personally read in terms and conditions becoming affiliated that it's a safe space for everybody in the respect of it's not just for gamers. So I use the platform to stream my games, but they have a just chatting section, they have a sports section. Pretty sure they have a travel and something else section. So I don't know if I've not actually inquired because I personally never travelled, probably won't. I've got too many kids to try and want to lumber in a plane. About all the people on the plane getting annoyed with my army that I've hold.
Well, maybe one day.
Seat with your mum. And then I'm going to get my seat kicked by one of the kids. You know, yeah, it'd be easy to not take them abroad anywhere, but
That's fair, sure.
you know, it's a safe space for everybody. So I'd assume in that travel thing, you got people just sat at the airport. You know, us two like, yeah, we're going to Dubai, something like that. It might be something like that in that premise. I've not personally endeavoured into that. I get a lot of gaming channels. Obviously I stream games, so I get things from Valorant, Starfield. I get all the kind of top games. I get a top few streamers, but then I've got the just chatting pages as well. I've got 2 or 3 people that I follow that normally they'll have their camera set up like this, so they'll have camera, they'll have their light, but in the background where we've got skill check written here, they'll have like a little board with their followers and everything else, and that, you know, they'll play music, they'll sing along with, they'll get loads of people spamming little emotes that are like dancing little character, and you can find a really nice sense of community. And I feel like unless it's explored properly, I think there's a huge anxiety with online and how, you know, do I really want to portray anything of my personal life into this stream with fear that someone's going to be nitpicky and critical of that, because that's going to hurt you as a person. You've put something that you're passionate about, but something that's personally attached to you out there that someone doesn't like. You've got a kind of the rough of the smooth of a lot of it. I mean, I've personally, touch wood, wall, chair and everything else in between, had anyone that's come in and said XYZ about anything from the background looks poor or my clothes. Like, I don't have anything like that. I think it's a big worry for people, and obviously big worry for me. Yeah. So that's why I put off having a camera. I'm getting better with my cameras now. Obviously I've got my one, it's literally like the mic sits that close and I'm almost like it does put me off a little bit. You get kind of adjusted to it and you get accustomed to it, but you can ban. There's a quick ban button, and there's these parameters that Twitch do have in check. You know, you can apply moderators, as I've said earlier in the pod. You know, my wife's a moderator for me, so if someone was to come in and say XYZ whatever, then she, you know, come in, nudge me again, or she be able to type the command in herself, and then that will establish a ban for however long she sees fit. She has to approve some if they've got. Kind of shot myself in the foot of it sometimes though, because some people can't send a message because they've accidentally like left a swear word in, but not because of malice, but for effect. And then my message, it's like Nightbot's come up, said that he can't say it. I'm like, what did you say? And then they repeat it again, and Nightbot tells them off again. I'm like, stop. Message me on Facebook what you want to say, just in case that my Nightbot kicks you out of my stream. I don't want that.
And Nightbot's like
there's a plethora.
automatic.
Yeah, you can. Twitch give you a plethora. I think you've got Moobot, Nightbot, Cyanbot. Also, so many. But with PC, I think you've got a big Twitch. The broad spectrum opens up. I do it through an Xbox. I have just my one camera, which is on its little bipod, which is all here. It's all quite little. I got a little setup in comparison to. So I was blown away at this run. So I was blown away by this green screen, the soundproofing. It's all like this is a dream for someone that's a little bit of an aspiring gamer and big Twitcher, but also dad of 5 with a realistic budget that doesn't have. Oh, what's that? My child needs new shoes. But that's priority. So I mean, that's as soon as I get that done. But I think with what I've got and how I've done it, and in the time frame that I've done it, I'm not too critical on myself. It's a case of treating others how you want to be treated. Nice. I feel if you're naturally good with people, like on a personal level, like you really get on with people, Twitch is probably something that you probably want to jump at and kind of do. Because there's a lot of people that will always want to chat, always want to see a different perspective. There's curiosity leads people into a lot of places, you see. So you can kind of leave a message in someone's Twitch. I've done that before. I've left a message in someone's Twitch saying, hope you have a good stream, mate. Can't stay for long. Child duties, whatever. And then I've gone off and then I've had an email saying someone's followed me. A lot of my followers have come from just being humble in someone else's community, going in just saying hello, getting yourself established, saying X, Y, Z in their stream, and then it kind of bestows itself back. It is a big kind of circle, really. I found if you want to, there are people on Twitch that do thrive off the whole toxicity and they will get a following, but you'll find that their chat and their followers are more, the algorithm will push them that way. Do you see what I mean? Whereas if you kind of stay true to who you are as a person, you want to stay humble and you want to be meeting humble people talking, then Twitch will lead you that way.
Fantastic.
Which is what I think that's a lot of the worry for people with Twitch. Okay. You don't want to be, it doesn't just throw, when you're brand new, it won't be like, oh, you're with them or you're with them. It will kind of, you just untapped potential. Or as I like to say, waffle batter. Mix it up. Really? You just untapped potential, you see? So you could be either, you take however you want to go, you branch off, but you've got to not look at numbers, just be proud of what you're doing and passionate, really. It's all down to the individual. I reckon most people I walk past in the street, I reckon could stream on Twitch. It's so accessible in the way of just even a minimal setup that is here, a minimal setup that I've got, you can really do anything with. It's just...
So what setup do you have?
I have just an Xbox Series X, and then I have a similar tripod to this camera, which is actually a trophy, not a tripod. I have a football trophy from living at the YM. One of the trophies I acquired, and I sit my camera, which has a...
I sit on the trophy.
In the trophy, cool. And obviously it's where it's got its little stand. It sits in the trophy like that, obviously, and then I pull out my bedside drawer to give me the closeness, because I don't have the where we have all these PC settings. You've got your scenes, the sources all have. With my Xbox, I don't have these choices. I don't have a program for my camera, so I can't chop and change the zoom level. So I've improvised. I have a trophy, which I then shove the camera in, and I put it on a box, and then I pull my shelf out towards about here. So obviously then the camera's about here, which is good, because then people can see my facial reactions, which is what people actually want to see. At first I was very skeptical, being like, someone wants to see my room? What? Why do you want to see my room? I start getting really weirded out by it. But then people are like, no, they just want to see. They want to see how you react to something that happens in game. But yeah, it's a big thing. And with technology just getting more advanced and more you know, you can Twitch out on the go.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you get a GoPro and you link all your account and that, you can Twitch live as you're out going walking about. See what I mean? So
Yeah,
that'd be
I
just
think you
traveling.
can do that with a Twitch app.
That'd be just an adventuring section. So I mean, if you were going for a walk through the woods and you know they've got a really don't know what woods would have Wi-Fi, but you know, if you got a good signal and you got enough
Woods with decent enough 3G.
you know, yeah, that's it. Or even if you just filmed it prior with no internet and then posted it when you were home. Do you see what I mean? Like, you know, just the it's just so much of a spectrum. It's such a wide. You can kind of be whoever you want to be.
What do you get out of streaming on Twitch?
Personally, I'm a big fan of having spectators from playing football as a young kid, and then having kids of my own who want always me to see what they're doing. I always kind of something hits me when they ask me, and I'm like, yeah, I like being that kid, and I just like, even if there's 2, maybe 3 viewers in my stream that aren't me or anybody that I've even asked, like my wife's not home, she's with the boy out somewhere, and then there was actually just a solid 3, and these are people that I don't know, and then there's Dark, or there's maybe Pro-Tide or another couple that are in there that have come in as a regular, and it's nice. Yeah, I just really enjoy I'm massively community based anyway, and then when you have as many kids as I do, you want it to always kind of just be nothing but love in that respect. I wanna be able to have a Twitch where the community is that nice that they'd give my boy that it's similar kind of. He wants a little gaming team of his own because he sees it. Obviously, gets to a certain point. I'll have Filthy Devil invite me. It'll be K-Dog. We'll all be on. The party will be popping. We'll all be chatting. The stream will be on and live. Everybody will be included. And he'll just lurk around the corner like, I ain't got any online friends. It's like, but these things come. Children don't. They think they're children forever, don't they?
Yeah.
I remember being a kid. I want to be an adult. No, I'm an adult. But yeah, they think it's always going to be children. They're not going to ever meet friends. But I'm hoping that one day with my community, a lot of people I follow are dads. So I make it kind of when I'm going to go on a discovery day, so to speak. I'll follow people that are just chatting, dad gamers. So I'll look for the tags because they're normally the people that will give a little bit of leeway with baby noise in the background.
Yeah.
Opposed to if I didn't have the dad stream or whatever in my tags, and then a 16-year-old who's not had a kid or whatever comes into the stream expecting MLG, all that cool stuff, and then they're kicking off because there's a baby toy. Touch the barn! Touch the barn! But the dad gamers don't mind that. You see what I mean? Because they've got kids themselves, and it's just
That's what
they
life's
understand
like,
it. Yeah, you see what I mean? They have a little level of understanding, so you can genuinely just be whoever you want. Like, if there's a part of you where you feel like you've not particularly done something, maybe, and there's a way that you want to try and get it done, or maybe you want to just be more social, definitely get more out there. And
I've heard a lot from Rob about community and the community he is finding. I wanted to find out from Damian what his community was like and if he has seen it in action in any particular meaningful way.
We have done 2 charity streams.
Okay.
We've done 2 charity relay streams where over the course of 24 hours we've had mutable streamers basically coming together and basically passing on the rate. So we're trying to explain the charity relay stream whilst also completely forgetting to talk about one crucial thing that helps build your community up within Twitch, which we haven't discussed about yet.
Which is?
Raids. So, as somebody that has streamed on Twitch in the past, you're already aware of what raids are. But for those of you that aren't, so when you end your stream, rather than just ending your stream and the viewers then just clicking off to go on YouTube or Facebook, you can then initiate a raid and you can send your viewers at the end of your stream to a different channel, basically sharing your community with another streamer, which then your community may end up forming part of their community, and their community may end up becoming part of your community. So it's about sharing your communities.
Okay.
Raiding channels is widely considered to be one of the best things to do in terms of building your community up, and is actually highly recommended that you raid channels. There is a lot of people, I suppose myself, included, that are kind of against the people that, some of the bigger streamers that don't raid channels, at the end of the streams. I mean, I will always try to raid the channel with the lowest amount of viewers, bumping up the view count for somebody that may just be starting out or somebody that's just having a particularly slow day.
Yeah.
So
That's only fair, isn't it?
yeah. And I think that's what you should be doing. When you've done your stream, you've been streaming for 2, 3, 4, however long you've been streaming for. Find somebody that is streaming the same category as you or the same game as you, and find somebody that has either just started, that is a fairly small streamer, or find somebody that hasn't got many views, maybe only has like 2 or 3 views, viewers watching, and raid them. Because they will appreciate the raid, and they may end up raiding you in return, and both yours and their communities will basically come together.
So that's raiding.
That's raiding.
How does raiding relate to the charity stream?
So the charity stream or the charity relay stream that we did it's a local stream where we raise money for charities, but at the end of the stream we then raid the next person that's taking part.
Okay.
So there's a schedule where we gather all the streamers that are taking part. We then allocate a time threshold that is convenient for them, and then you basically set aside, well, you're streaming at this time. This streamer is on after you that takes over. You need to raid them, and it just passes on. Rather than just having one person do a 24-hour long stream, which
happens,
which does happen, but it is a lot of work and it's a lot of commitment. I mean, I won't be able to do 24 hours. I could probably do 6 hours. I may be able to push 12, but 24 you can't do. However, doing this allowed us to stream a comfortable amount of time that we could actually do quite happily, without getting too drained, and whilst doing something for charity. I think across those 2 charity streams, I say charity stream. One of them was a charity stream. One of them was a kind of a stream to benefit one of our mods.
Okay.
Because one of our mods became homeless, lost his home. We found out he was sleeping out of his car, so we decided to raise some money to try and get a roof over his head so he can get himself back onto his feet. And thankfully, our community pulled through and ended up raising £1,078 for him, which is a considerable chunk of change, really. But previously, one of our viewers died of cancer. We did a charity fundraising stream for Cancer Research UK, where we raised just shy of £2,000.
Wow. Okay.
And from a bunch to be raising £2,000 from what is pretty much very small streamers, that just shows you how good the community that we've got is. I mean, I suppose some of that did kind of go to the fact that we teamed up with a fairly big popular streamer.
Okay.
We managed to get him on board, and he did take part. But even then, I think the fact that we managed to raise just shy of £2,000 for Cancer Research UK from what is a bunch of small streamers that may not get any more than maybe 50 viewers at a time is
crikey. Yeah,
it's quite good. So
wow, fantastic.
So I guess I need to bring this all to a close and try and round up the couple of interviews and the comments that we've heard from both Rob and Damian. And I guess the thing that surprises me the most from both of them is the idea of community that we've heard from them. They've both spoken of Twitch as a place of belonging, a place to be brought together by gaming and playing games online. But it's also a place where people kind of check in on each other. Have I heard enough for this lapsed streamer to get back into it? I don't know, but I know the reason why. It's my own kind of personal time management and how I prioritize times and things like that. Is this something I feel people should be involved with? If you want to, why not? I feel the message there is not to worry about the games you're playing. If it's something that you think you would enjoy doing, give it a go. If it doesn't work out for you, if it's something you don't enjoy, don't do it. If it's something you do enjoy, then fantastic. You've found a new hobby and potentially a new community to be a part of as well. Please check out the podcast notes for more information about everything that we've talked about today. And until next time, take care now.